There are so many rules in the scriptures. Do this, do this, do this. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. The purpose of all of these was twofold. Number one, always remember God. Number two, never forget God. So, this sutra has been interpreted sometimes differently by people. They say chitta vritti nirodha. So this nirod, they interpret that you stop thinking. Kill the mind. Man kumar to beda par. But this is not a complete understanding. Nirod does not mean put an end to. There's scope of misinterpretation. See, Narad in his Bhakti Darshan also used nirod. Sa na kamay mana nirod rupatvat. He says bhakti is nirod rupi, hence don't desire. Narad, he says, in bhakti don't desire because it is the form of nirod, this bhakti. So should we not desire God? Should we not desire love? Should we not desire to serve? What is the meaning of nirod rupi, don't desire? Don't desire material things. He says this, it's not stopping you from desiring spiritual things. Put a stop to material desires. Similarly, when he says chitta vritti nirod, he doesn't say stop thinking. He says the goal of yoga is to stop material thinking and enhance your spiritual thinking. If you just had to stop thinking, there was no need to understand these sutras. Somebody can hit you with a stick on the head and for half an hour you will stop thinking. So if the aim of yoga is to put us in that state, then it's no use. The aim of yoga is to bathe our mind with divine thoughts, sublime ideas, noble sentiments. And all the sadhana processes we undertake are to illumine this individual consciousness with the light of the divine consciousness. So the goal of yoga is not to kill the mind, but to purify the mind. And how will we purify the mind? This Sri Krishna says in the Gita, always remember this verse. Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. He says, Arjun, your mind is material. The objects of the world are material. God is divine. When you absorb your mind in the divine Lord, your mind transcends the three modes of Maya and becomes situated on the divine transcendental platform. So to purify the mind, engage it in God. And to do that, in this retreat, we are going to have the opportunity of remembering the names of God, the forms of God, the qualities and virtues of God, the pastimes and leelas of God, His divine abode, His divine devotees, the Sadguru. And with the help of all of this, we will endeavor to purify the mind or do the nirodh of the chitta vritti. Let's move on to the next sutra. Tada drashtuhu
Tara drashtuh
swarupe
swarupe
avasthanam.
avasthanam.
Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam.
Tada drashtuh swarupe avasthanam.
Then the seer becomes established in the divine nature of the self. The mind is important, but it is not all important. The mind is only an instrument that the soul utilizes. Ultimately, the seer, the drashta, is not the mind, it is the soul. The soul is utilizing this mind. The mind has 3 states to it: man, buddhi, ahankar. In some scriptures, all these are clubbed together to say mind. Maneva manushyanam karanam bandhamokshayo panchadashi. In some scriptures, 2 are separately referred: man, buddhi, mind and intellect. The Gita says, Mayeva mana adhatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya. Arjun, surrender your mind to me, surrender your intellect to me. In some scriptures, they are referred to separately as all 3. For example, in the Sankhya Darshan, in the Yoga Darshan, the mind, the intellect, and the ego. They are 3 states of functioning of the one mind. For example, let us say that you are taking a morning walk and you see a black creature approaching. So the mind is utilizing the senses, and the mind tells the intellect, I am seeing somebody with this shape, it has got a tail and 4 legs and it's black colored and it's got big teeth. The intellect makes a decision, this is a dog and the master is not around, it seems to be wild. The ego then says, I am under threat. The ego is identifying this whole machinery situation with itself and it says, I am under threat, we need to run. So later on, the ego will identify with this knowledge and say, whenever a wild dog runs in this manner, I have understood from my experience, it is my knowledge that it's a threatful situation and I need to run. So what is desiring or hankering and aversion? That is the mind. What is making the decisions is the intellect. And what is accepting all these as its own, that is the ego. And beyond all these is the soul. The soul's point of contact with the material realm is the ego. Because of the ego, the soul thinks, I am this, this is mind. So if the ego is not there, soul would not have any contact. Now, the saints remind us that remember, you are not the mind. Swamiji, I am feeling depressed. You are feeling depressed. Yes, but you are not the mind. I am not the mind. So I am not depressed. No, your mind is depressed. Now you can either go and treat the mind with, psychotherapists and all, or you can learn that I am not the mind. Why should I associate with the mind? So the saints tell us that try and understand Who are you? Who am I?